Hey everybody, it's Sean Price with Price and Price Group here at Sampson Properties. It is time for this week's market snapshot and what it means to buyers here in the Northern Virginia real estate market. Here we go. Okay, so we are here. I'm at 1607 North Glebe. You can see this is a beautiful, beautiful home offered at 1.65 million. This is a fully renovated property, and I am hosting an open house here, and wanted to go ahead and shoot this market report for buyers so that you guys knew what to expect as you go out into the market. So we are going to dive into this. Let me get over here to my computer. All right, not our normal studio setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into what the numbers look like. Now keep in mind what we're looking at here is we're looking at what they call lead measures. So we're looking at what's happened in the last 7 days so that buyers are prepared to make real-time decisions on what they can expect as they go out into the market and start looking at properties. All right, so as always, our black line here is going to be buyer activity. These are going to be the number of properties that went under contract in the last 7 days. And you can see we had a little bit of a dip here in buyer activity, but we are on a very, very strong upward trend in buyer activity. We did see the interest rates go up a little bit this week, so that could contribute to this dip. And so we'll have to see how that plays out over the next couple of days, or I'm sorry, over the next couple of weeks. You can also see that inventory has been on a significant increase, a significant climb upwards, as we expect in the spring market. And then over the last couple of weeks, it's been a little bit flatlined. So this gap right here indicates the difference or the delta between supply and demand. So we're going to go down here into the strength of the normal market, which is the gray line, a buyer's market, which is down in this area, and a seller's market up here. And you can see that we are still significantly in a seller's market. Pretty close to where we were last year at this time. So let's see if over the next few weeks we follow the same pattern that we had last year, which is where we started dipping a little bit, even though we were in that strong spring market. And the reason for the dip last year is because buyer activity kind of flatlined and inventory spiked up. So let's see what happens here. It doesn't look like that's what we're trending towards this time of year, but let's see. We'll see what happens. So what did contracts look like? So these were 234 contracts over the last 7 days. We're going to focus here in Virginia, and you can see that 47% of the properties went higher than listing price. So they are moving very, very quickly. In fact, over 56% went in 7 days or less. So properties are coming off the market very, very quickly. You can see that 29% went at list price, and you can see that 24% went below list price. As far as days on market, 8 to 21 days on market was 23%. So basically we have 79% of the properties went under contract in 21 days or less. And what's that? 76% of the properties went at or above listing price. So that's pretty significant. That speed of the market, you can see what's going on there. Bounced around here a little bit. You can see 21% were cash transactions, which is a higher number than we've normally been seeing as well. Contingencies, we're starting to see even the finance contingencies are decreasing. Okay, this is not a great sign for buyers. This is showing that we are in a competitive market. Finance contingencies, only 60% had them. Appraisal contingencies, only 58% had them. So that again indicates that we're in a multi-offer situation quite often. And then home inspections, you can see that 65% still got home inspections. So that's actually a good number considering that these two contingencies are lowering. 65% getting that home inspection, that's a good thing. So it's something that buyers can be hopeful about. So basically what this means for you as a buyer is that when you see a property that you want, make sure you get out there quickly to see it, because almost 56% of these things went under contract in that first 7 days. So if you take your time getting out there, it's probably not going to be there for very long. So you want to get out there to see it very quickly, and you want to be prepared to create that competitive offer and feel around and see if you can pull off getting that inspection contingency. If you can't, have your agent use the strategy of getting your inspection done prior to the offer so that you can still know what you're buying, even being able to submit a contingency-free offer. All right, so it's still a pretty fair market, even though we are seeing it getting more competitive and we are seeing things happening here. But buyers, it's still a chance for you to get out there and still get some protections in the contract. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Kelly and me. We would love to do a buyer consultation with you, talk about your particular situation, and see what we can do to help you be protected as you go through the market and put together strong offers. All right. If you have any questions, let us know. And if not, we will see you on next week's video.